Hi guys, today I was given a task in which the parent component was calling a function that was present inside, defined inside the uh, this child component. So I thought this video might be helpful for some more people. So this is the parent component that is Papa, and this is the child component that is Beta. Okay. Uh, Inside this parent component, there is a button defined called call beta, means call the child component. So the button is defined inside the parent component, but the function which will be executed on this button's on click is defined inside this beta component. Okay, child component. So how do we call this function which is defined inside the child component from a parent component? Okay, so how do we call a child function from a parent component? So for this, I have defined these two components. Okay, so this parent component that is called Papa has a div that has contained some text and has a button. On this button's on click, we want to execute a function that is present here. Okay, we have not written that yet. So how do we do that? We do that with the help of reference. So we all know that in React we have reference variables. So through these references we can achieve this. Okay, so first we do some things in parent component. So what we do is we create a reference here, that is child ref. Let's name it child ref. Okay, and we created with the help of useRef hook that is present in the React. Okay, so we can assign this null if you are working TypeScript, but you can leave it blank if you are working in JavaScript. Okay, so this child ref is here. Now what we do is we all know that inside all React components there is one property that we can pass to all React component by default is ref, that is ref. So we pass this child ref inside the uh, property of child component. Okay, so this is child ref. Now we have passed this child ref from parent to child. Now we go in child and we access the ref here. So we have defined the ref here, and make sure that you define the ref as a second argument, because the first is always props. Okay, so always define the ref as the second argument, even if you have just ref, first write props and then write ref. Okay, now to make use of it, this ref thing, we wrap our whole child component inside a function that is forward ref. Okay, so this is forward ref. Now we wrap this function, this whole function, beta function, inside this. Okay, so forward, we have wrapped this function inside the forward wrap. Now we define one more thing here, that is use imperative handle. So this is also a thing of React hook, that is use imperative handle, and then we pass two arguments in it. The first one is ref that we are getting from this parent component here, child ref. We are accessing it here, and then we are passing it to this use imperative handle. Okay, and then we pass another argument, that is a callback function, and this is the callback function that we are defining right now. Okay, so this is the call function. Inside this function, whatever we will write, that will be accessible from the parent component. Okay, so make sure you provide all the functions here that you want to have access to other sorry, the parent, to the parent function. So we define a function here that is called say hi to papa. Okay, now one more thing, that whenever you define a function inside this use imperative handle hook, you will not write it like a normal function like this. You should not write like this. Okay, we will remove the function keyword from here. We'll just write the function name and the parameters and the braces. Okay, so here it is. Now we show an alert here that is hi papa. So whenever the papa component will um, be clicked on the button, this function will execute in the child component. Okay, so I hope this is all done in child component, and now we go to the parent component. In parent component, what we need to do is we need to access this function. Okay, now we have defined all the all the things in child component, and now we want to access this function, specifically this function, in parent component. So what we will do is we will we want to execute that function on the click of the button. So we will say it like this, on click. Okay, and inside on click we'll pass function that is call beta. Okay, so this call beta function, we have not defined it yet. We will call this function on the click of the button. So we'll define this function as a user function, that is this, and then and inside this function that is present in the parent, we will call that um, child function. So how do we call that child function? So we will call that function with the help of this child ref that we have passed into that child function. Okay, so every ref thing that you make with this useRef hook will have a property by default that is current, and then this current object will have another property that will be these functions that we have defined here. So we have defined this say hi to papa function, and we will write it here, and then this, and now I think all of is done, and yeah, that's it. Now we go there and click over this, and we can say this function is executed successfully. Okay, so let's summarize it again. So we have passed a ref means just a reference. We have passed a reference from parent to child, and and the child has given permission to use its function inside the parent. Okay, so we're just passing a reference. We are just acting like we own this function in parent. Okay, so this is some error. This is just a TypeScript error, not a big deal. And what we have done is we have passed the child function into the child component, and then that child ref is passed, sorry, then with the help of the forward ref we have made the child component ready to be used in the parent component. Okay, so then we have defined the all the functions that we want to use in the parent function inside the use imperative handle hook, and then we have called those functions from here. So I hope it was very helpful for you. Thank you for watching.